Please, let me just start. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory Srila Prabhupada. I hope you are all well. Welcome you all to His Holy Chandramauli Maharaj's daily call. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory Srila Prabhupada. Haribol. So today Maharaj will be covering Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter number 9, which name is Answers by Citing the Lord's Vision. And Maharaj will be covering the verse 23. Maharaj, if you're ready, is it okay to start sharing the screen?
Please.
Thank you. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vadyadishtam maya tantra tvaya karma vimohite. Tapo me hridayam shaksad. Apmaham tapasannaga. O sinless Brahman, you may know from me that it was I who first ordered you to undergo penance when you were perplexed in your duty. Such penance is my heart and soul, and therefore penance and I are non-different. Purport. The penance by which one can see the personality of Godhead face to face is to be understood as devotional service to the Lord and nothing else, because only by discharging devotional service in transcendental love can one approach the Lord. Such penance is the internal potency of the Lord and is non-different from Him. Such acts of internal potency are exhibited by non-attachment for material enjoyment. Living entities are engaged in the conditions of material bandha because of their propensity for overlordship. But the engagement in the devotional service of the Lord, one becomes detached from this enjoying spirit. Devotees automatically become detached from worldly enjoyment, and this detachment is the result of perfect knowledge. Therefore, the penance of devotional service includes knowledge and detachment, and that is the manifestation of the transcendental potency. One cannot enjoy material illusionary prosperity if he desires to return home back to Godhead. One who has no information of the transcendental bliss in the association of the Lord foolishly desires to enjoy this temporary material happiness. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that if someone sincerely wants to see the Lord and at the same time wants to enjoy this material world, he is considered to be a fool only. One who wants to remain here in the material world for material enjoyment has no business entering into the eternal kingdom of God. The Lord favors such a foolish devotee by snatching all that he may possess in the material world. If such a foolish devotee of the Lord tries to recoup his position, then the merciful again Lord snatches away all that he may have possessed. By such repeated failures in material prosperity, he becomes very unpopular with his family members and friends. In the material world, the family members and friends honor persons who are very successful in accumulating wealth by any means. The foolish devotee of the Lord is thus put into forcible penance by the grace of the Lord, and at the end the devotee becomes perfectly happy, being engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, penance and devotional service of the Lord, either by voluntary submission or being forced by the Lord, is necessary for attaining perfection. And thus such penance is the internal potency of the Lord. One cannot, however, be engaged in penance of devotional service without being completely free from all sins. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, only a person who is completely free from all reactions of sins can engage himself in the worship of the Lord. Brahmaji was sinless, and therefore he faithfully discharged the advice of the Lord, tapa, tapa, and the Lord, being satisfied with him, awarded him the desired result. Therefore, only love and penance combined can please the Lord, and thus one is able to attain his complete mercy. He directs the sinless, and the sinless devotee attains the highest perfection of life. Magyantimirandasya Gyanajana Salakaya Chaksuun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Mliyavisesa Sunyavadi Pasyatya Desatarni Vanchakalpa Tarubhischa Vipa Sindhu Parevacha Utitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it says, unless one is free from all sins or the reactions of all sins, one cannot actually engage in devotional service of the Lord. So one has to become sinless. That means one has to take shelter of the process of devotional service by taking shelter of the spiritual master. Working under his guidance, then one can perform devotional service. Before one actually accepts the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and undergoes the process of initiation, one is practicing and gradually removing the reactions of sinful activities. But it doesn't become complete unless the mercy of the spiritual master is there, and that is called initiation. When the initiation comes, the reactions of one's past material activities are actually wiped away by the mercy of the spiritual master. Otherwise, it would be impossible for the person to engage in devotional service. The example is given is that if one has many sinful reactions to undergo, and these things will come by due course of time, one will not be able to focus on the devotional service of the Lord. And therefore, one has to somehow become sinless, and therefore, as Srila Prabhupada would say, initiation means beginning. You're beginning to traverse the path back home, back to Godhead. And it says here, what is the highest form of penance? Is to engage in devotional service. That means to follow the instructions of the spiritual master. Mukhan karoti vachalam pangu lagate girim yat kripas taraham bande shiguru vinatarinam. That means that only by the grace of the spiritual master can one free themselves from the reactions of sinful activities. Otherwise, one has to undergo suffering due to past material activities. And that unsuffering will make it difficult for the person to practice devotional service. Not make it difficult, make it, as it says here, it becomes impossible. So therefore, by the mercy of the spiritual master, one gains the position of devotional service. Because the spiritual master, it says, actually guides one on the path of devotional service. And also by his mercy, one can be relieved from the reactions of sinful activities, which will cause one to remain unsteady in the path of devotional service. And even past pious activities that bring about some kind of material benedictions may also interfere with one's progress in devotional service. So that mercy of the spiritual master is also removed by the spiritual master's mercy. Therefore, this penance means to very strictly follow the instructions of the spiritual master. It says that what does it mean to follow strictly the instructions of the spiritual master? That means one doesn't need to go anywhere else for whatever one needs, both philosophically in terms of the knowledge and practical guidance in terms of the activity to become successful in devotional service. That is the position of the spiritual master. And one has to develop, as one progresses, one has to develop this desire, not, and this is called the enjoying spirit. Sometimes people ask, how do we come to this material world? Well, we come to this material world because we want to enjoy separate from the Lord. There's enjoyment with the Lord, and that's full enjoyment, but the living entity may mistakenly think that they can find enjoyment outside of their relationship with the Lord. And therefore, this enjoying spirit is the foundation by which material life unfolds. And in order to facilitate one's enjoyment in this world, one has to put themselves in a position of control, to control and then to enjoy. And these are the two, what we say, features of the characteristic of fall down in the material world. I want to enjoy separate from the Lord, and therefore, in order to do that, I need to become the controller. But Krishna explains his position, and the acharyas also support his explanation, that he is Bhokta, he's a supreme enjoyer, and he is also the supreme controller. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. He is the controller of everything, both animate and inanimate, both spiritual and material. And so no one can take his position. But the enjoying spirit is there within the living entity, his constitutional nature. We want to enjoy or want to experience pleasure or happiness. But it can only be found in relationship to the Lord and not otherwise, because outside of that, we have the arrangements of the three modes of material nature, which give you results according to your desire to enjoy, your desire to control. And these results are some relief from material suffering, some added material suffering, or a combination of both. And therefore, that's called a area where no matter how expert you are, how thoughtful you are, how intelligent you are, you cannot surpass the laws of material nature. Those laws are fixed and they're given by God himself. And the laws of material nature relegate one to suffering based on the desire to enjoy. Just like a coin has two sides. We say the head side and the tail side. If you see a coin with two heads, one on each side, or two tails, you know it's not a real coin. So material energy is dualistic. Wherever there is so-called material enjoyment, which means that kind of enjoyment by which one gets a temporary relief from material suffering, that's called material enjoyment. then there will be a concomitant reaction to material, the attempt to enjoy, and that is called material suffering. And we speak about this a lot. We don't have to go into the details. But how do you give up this propensity to enjoy? Is that you create this desire to make Krishna enjoy. And Krishna enjoys by, here it says here, you may know that such penance is my heart and soul. Therefore, penance and I are non-different. So two things are mentioned here. Penance or austerities, accepting the path of bhakti to make Krishna enjoy through your activities, and to give up this idea that you can find enjoyment everywhere else, anywhere else. We look for enjoyment in other places also, and we think we can find it both in the material and in the spiritual. But the material is called Maya, or the idea of enjoyment, but no real enjoyment. Why is there not real enjoyment? Because the soul is by nature spiritual, and the manipulation of the material energy cannot bring happiness to the soul. It may bring a little relief from the suffering that the body and mind undergo, but that's not happiness. That's just relief from suffering or a mitigating of suffering. But the soul enjoys because the soul is part of Krishna. And when one performs penances, what does penance mean? Penance really means devotional service. But when we speak of devotional service, we speak of that devotional service that is not motivated by material desires. Rupa Goswami gives a very clear and very succinct the definition of pure devotional service. He says, Ayabila sita sunyo jnana karma anavritam anukulena krishna silanam bhakti uttamam. So what does that translate into? That pure devotional service is free from the desire to enjoy the results of the activity. That's called fruitive activity. We go to work, we want some remuneration for the work we put. So we get some wealth, some money, or we get some kind of pleasure from the activity that we perform by getting some material benefit from it. But that's called fruitive results. Fruitive means I perform some activity and I look for some benediction in that activity. But bhakti is free from that, real bhakti, and that is no desire for personal gain or personal happiness, but simply to serve the Lord for the pleasure of the Lord. And no desire for philosophical speculation on the absolute truth, which are what the jnanis perform in order to detach themselves from material activities. These two things, karma and jnana, are thrown out, and bhakti means focusing on pleasing the Lord with a desire to please the Lord. Not just please the Lord, but have a desire to please the Lord. Because there are even demons that please the Lord, but they don't have an intention to please the Lord. Just like the Lord likes to fight. Just like sometimes we say, where do you get your propensity to fight? Because you are part and parcel of the Lord, that propensity is there. We are more or less carbon copies of the Lord. And therefore, we have many of the same characteristics that he has, but of course, in smaller quantity. So, this propensity to enjoy can be found in relationship to the Lord and can be found beyond one's ability to measure. In other words, it's unlimited. As Krishna is unlimited, the enjoyment that one can achieve from Krishna is also unlimited. That's mentioned in the Shastras, Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. Ananda means happiness. Buddhi means deep, full, unlimited. And Vardhanam means an ocean. An ocean is very deep and very vast. No one can measure the ocean. No one can explore the ocean. The ocean sometimes goes miles down, and it goes, sometimes thousands of miles across. So no one can measure the depth of the ocean. But therefore, no one can really come to the limit of happiness in devotional service because it's like an unlimited ocean. And that is spoken by the Lord Himself, not by anyone else. The Lord is giving the clear understanding. This happiness that you're looking for is here, but it's way beyond any material form of happiness. So we should go for that happiness. And that is simply executing devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Krishna Smaranam, to remember Krishna, chant the glories of Krishna, to hear the glories of Krishna, to execute devotional service according to Rupa Goswami's guidance in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is the guidebook by which we can follow the rules and principles that make up devotional service, which are not very difficult to perform. Sometimes the difficulty comes because we want to enjoy in this material world, and because we can't enjoy, or we somehow or other feel frustrated in our attempt to enjoy, we think devotional service is also difficult, but it's actually quite easy. It's easy when you give up this desire to enjoy material life. And when by perceiving how the conditioned souls are suffering in the material world, you get a clear insight. Yes, everyone's trying to enjoy, but who's actually enjoying? Who's actually enjoying? Very few, and if any, and even that enjoyment is fleeting. It leaves just as fast as it comes. So this penance of bhakti is nice. Chant the holy names, read transcendental knowledge coming from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, learn about your position and relationship to all of existence and to the Lord, and take nice foodstuffs called Krishna Prasadam. Even people out on the outside who have the opportunity to taste prasadam, they always glorify prasadam as something really tasty and wonderful, something they've never experienced before. That's because it's transcendental, it's spiritual, it's not material. It's been tasted by the Supreme Lord Himself. And so the process of devotional service, as mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, is susukam. Sukha means happy. Su means very happy. It's a process of happiness unlimited. What makes it hard is when we want to enjoy material life and still practice devotional service. Then we're trying to mix two things that don't mix together. One will push out the other, and ultimately, if we keep material desires there, then the mercy that comes by way of devotional service becomes hard to access. So it's a great science, this devotional service. It's written in Nectar of Instructions, Nectar of Devotion, in Jaiva Dharma, and many other books. Just like there are people who are interested in science, what's beyond the range of this cosmic manifestation that I can perceive? What are the heavens? How are the planets working? How do the days and nights come and go? How do the different planets interact with each other? What are the atmosphere? In other words, there's a whole study of material science, but spiritual science is also beyond the range of our senses, but it is perceivable through devotional service and through reading and hearing about this knowledge coming from Krishna and the spiritual master. Therefore, Krishna says, Srinvata Swakata Krishna, Purnya Sravana Kirtanaha, Ridanstyo sto abhadrani vidyunoti surhit satam. That when Krishna sees you're eager to hear about him, to serve him, he enters within your heart in a very direct way, and he starts wiping away all of the material desires that are keeping you locked into this material world. So he helps you when he sees your sincere desire. And desire is not static, desire is active. So, unless we realize that this material world is not our home, it's not a place for happiness, it's not some place we can make a permanent arrangement here. That's not possible. In fact, the arrangements that we make are so flimsy and so short that the time you start here, it's about time to get out already. It's, time goes so fast. Yes. So, therefore, the prerequisite for success in devotional service is to stop trying to enjoy this material energy. And there are so many ways by which you can try to enjoy. There's subtle ways, there's gross ways. The material energy is also quite multifariegated, and there's such a complexity. Just like people, they eating, you might say, is a type of enjoyment. So people always think, how can I eat in a different way? How can I eat in a new way? How can I try different cuisines? Let me enjoy eating in different ways. So eating is there, but there are hundreds of different ways by which you can approach meals according to the cooks, the cuisines, uh, the various types of methods that are used for preparing food. So many. So that's just an example of the complexity of material life. Like sex life. People are not happy with ordinary sex life, so they try to enjoy sex life in different ways. And there's so many books. Of course, I don't know anything about these books, but I've heard that there's so many books out there how to enjoy sex life in different ways. Just like there's thing, even in the Vedas, it's called the Kama Sutra. Kama Sutra tells you how to have perfect sex life or unlimited energy in sex life. Now, don't take this as an opportunity to explore this area because I don't recommend it. But this is another example of the complexity or the variegatedness of material life. You can sleep on the floor, you can sleep on a soft cushion, you can sleep on a hard cushion, you can sleep on a water bed, you can sleep outside in the forest. So you have so many different ways to sleep. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. You can defend with nails, you can defend with knives, you can defend with sticks, you can defend with rocks, you can defend with guns, you can defend with missiles, you can defend with atom bombs. So many ways, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So many ways to do the same thing in different ways. So, but it's all the same. It's all the same. It just comes down to eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So, material life, although it's complex and people try to enjoy it in different ways, they get the same thing. They simply get frustration because material energy is Krishna's energy and is not meant to be enjoyed by us, but meant to be used in his service. We can take what we need to live in this world, be happy with our quota, live simply, and execute devotional service. Taktva deham purna janmani naiti mam meti sorjuna. Krishna says, if you know me, you know why I come to this material world, you know a little bit about my activities when I come and perform them here in this world, then you qualify yourself to leave this material world and go back to the spiritual world. We just don't have any, we don't know, nor do we investigate what's the spiritual law world like. What is it about it that is so wonderful? And there are books. Of course, no one can fully describe the whole spiritual world, but we get a little indication from the Srimad Bhagavatam. There's descriptions of the spiritual world in the third canto. There's descriptions of the spiritual world in also in the 10th canto. So in different places, there's some descriptions of what the spiritual world is like. But we should learn about it. That way we'll be inspired to go there. Just like everyone likes to go on vacation. And so we make plans to go to some nice place where we can find some material pleasure. So we plan our vacation accordingly. We save the money. We read about where we're going. We very carefully plan how to get there. We pack up everything we need when we go. We make big plans to go someplace else in this material world to enjoy. Well, why not make a plan to go find out what the spiritual world is like, at least to a certain degree, and then you make your plan to get there. And if you make your plan to get there, Krishna will also help you to get there. So that means by your own efforts, you'll fall short, but by Krishna's mercy, you'll become successful. Okay, so we can stop there and discuss.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. You have explained this and remind us again and again that we have to stop enjoying this material world. And you have explained that we should have a desire to satisfy Krishna's senses. Thank you so much. Shikumar Prabhu, please, just before we pick up your question, devotees, if you have any questions, comments, realizations, please unmute yourself and ask. You can raise your hands and type in the chat. I'll read it for you. And it'll be nice to have your cameras on if you can. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Shikumar Prabhu, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji.
We're asking all the devotees to turn on their cameras. Please do it, because it makes it easier for me to see you and talk to you. Otherwise, I'm looking at some name only. Yes, when I see you, then I know we're together. Haribo. There's a few more. There you go, Rasi. I know you could do it. So there's a few more I know I can see their names and they're not shy. So come on, continue. Fill up the screen with smiling faces. There you go, Silpes. Now, and we got Sukavaha. She's there. We got Raghu. We got, what was it? Raghupati. Yeah, there he is. He's there. All the way from Botswana.
Haribol!
Okay. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 22 out of 26. 4 more to go. Come on, Srimati, you can do it. All right, so question. Thank you. And I can see all of you. Now I feel like we're in a very personal interaction. Okay.
Go ahead,
Please
Shikumar
accept,
Prabhu, please.
please accept my humble obeisances, Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, Maharaj, this question we have discussed, brought up few times, but still I'm bringing it in the context of today's purport, Maharaj. What happens to the karmic reactions of the devotee, one who takes up to pure devotion? In 10th canto, Maharaj, I'm just pasting it up in the chat box, Maharaj, just for reference. In the 10th canto, 88, chapter 8, sloka purport. I'm sorry, that's I think today's purport. Let me just paste the. So there is this word voluntary submission and or forced by the Lord. There is this term, words used in today's purport, Maharaj. I'm referring to 10.88.8 in the second chat paste, Maharaj, that although the distress looks like karmic reaction, they are in fact given by the Lord Himself. Is what is given and that in that sloka purport, Maharaj. So I just wanted to kind of check with you the distress and the happiness and distress that the devotee goes. Should that be understood still as karmic reaction, or it's Krishna's intervention and Krishna's hand is there?
There's both. There's both. There's the karmic reaction from our past activity, which is called parabdha karma, which is now becoming mature in due course of time. That's there. And that's being mitigated by the power of your devotional service. Then there is Krishna's special mercy, which is illustrated by one verse in the 10th canto, Tatenu kampam shukshamikshamanam ujanevat kritam vipakam ridvava habir vidadanamaste jiveti yo mukhi padesha dayabak. That sometimes Krishna gives the devotee a little bit of suffering for some benefit to wake him up from some material attachment, to make him more devoted. In other words, to take shelter more of Krishna and devotional service, to give them some added knowledge that is needed in their devotional service. So that verse indicates Krishna directly creates or offers some suffering, and the devotee can see it's coming from Krishna, and he thanks Krishna. And by thanking Krishna, and he prays to Krishna, that I actually deserve more than what you've given me. You are so merciful. And that particular mood of acceptance qualifies one to go back home, back to Godhead. Mukti Padesha Dayabak means that the kingdom of God becomes one's rightful inheritance. In other words, if you stay in devotional service, no matter what happens, whether it's your karmic reactions or Krishna's arrangement for you, just like it says, if you're born in a family of rich people, if you just stay in the family until the time for when the wealth is distributed by the demise of the parents, you get it. You get it automatically. You didn't do anything to get it. You simply were there in the family. So in the same way, if we stay in devotional service and not become, what we say, overwhelmed by some suffering or some difficulties that come by way of material energy or by Krishna's special arrangement for us, then we are guaranteed the kingdom of God. That's the statement by Lord Brahma, and he's speaking to Lord Krishna directly. So yeah, there's two things. One is parabdha karma, and the other one is the Lord's direct intervention. So you might say, well, how do I tell the difference? It doesn't matter. Just accept it as the mercy of the Lord and move forward. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj. So, Maharaj, just one follow-up question, Maharaj. In today's purport, we see these words either by voluntary submission or by Krishna's forcing it. Any insights, Maharaj, on what basis Krishna chooses to force someone to take up to bhakti?
Yeah, just like we're saying, he gives you some. In other words, he might break your material life. All of a sudden, your wealth is lost. All of a sudden, family members turn against you. All of a sudden, your pursuits in the material world don't develop into anything. In other words, you fail pitiably in material life. That's Krishna's extra special mercy, not special mercy. That's special. That's really special mercy. So we pray, my dear Lord, I can't do it, but you can do it for me. Just take it all away.
Mm.
And he'll do it, but you shouldn't complain when he does. That's special mercy, extra special. That means he's making it easier for him to be controlled by you by bhakti,
Mm. Mm.
special mercy. That means he sees the heart of the devotee is really sincere in bhakti, but they're still attached to material life.
Mm.
Many of us fall into that category. We really want Krishna, but we still can't give up material life.
Mm. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And obstacles, apparent obstacles, which are not obstacles, are opportunities to surrender more, to call out to Krishna feelingly, my dear Lord, you've taken everything away from me. Thank you. Now I can really worship you with full concentration.
Thank you so much. And outcomes.
Shri Kumar Prabhu. Any other questions, devotees?
Mm-hmm.
So while we are waiting, sorry,
Nice to see. I can see everybody. 25 smiling faces. A few people are driving cars, but that's okay. 25. Oh, we got and we have 5 more that refuse to reveal their identity. 30 altogether. Okay. Question.
So Maharaj, I had one question. You mentioned that we should not have, as we when we engage in devotional service, we shouldn't have uh, desire to enjoy. But it's always like that when we have these material senses, there will always be desire to enjoy. So is it like that this material body is cause of the this type of desires? And however we engage, how much we engage in devotional service, there will always be some tint of feeling enjoyment from anything, like, so how can that go? Like, devotees are always engaged in services, they're doing something whatever they can, but
Then there's where your enjoyment is.
mm,
There's the nice prayer or by Ambarish Maharaj in the 9th canto. It says he used his legs to walk to the temple of the Lord. He used his arms and hands to massage the bodies of the Lord. He used his ears to hear the glories of the Lord. He used his tongue to taste the prasadam of the Lord and speak the glories of the Lord. He used his eyes to see the beautiful form of the Lord, the form of a deity. He used his nose to smell the beautiful incense coming that was offering to the Lord. In other words, all of his senses were engaged in devotional activities. So you can't stop the senses, but you can redirect them in a spiritual way. That's Krishna consciousness. Just redirect your senses towards Krishna and not towards anything material. And your mind also, because the mind is the king of the senses. Therefore, use your mind to think about ways to serve the Lord. Use your mind to execute the devotional service nicely. Use your mind to glorify Krishna. Use your mind to think of ways to serve Krishna. Use your mind to try to understand the knowledge coming from Shastra.
so Guru Maharaj, would would this stop us? Like, we have to really perfect this process uh, to be able to go back?
Well,
Or
perfection, you can't go back to the spiritual world unless you're free from all material desires and material activities.
mm,
You know that. Why are you
yeah,
asking that question?
yeah, I'm just, yeah.
Let's
So
see if there's any other questions from
there is a
somebody
question.
else.
Let me read it. There is a question from Abhishek Dubey Prabhu. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my most humble obeisance. All glory Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, my question is that in Bhagavad Gita 3.6, it is written that one who restrains the senses of action but whose mind dwells in sense objects certainly deludes himself and is called a
He's called
pretender.
a pretender. Yeah.
So my question is, we are preaching Krishna consciousness, but we have our past unearthas. So our mind always dwells on sense objects. Then it is possible for a person to be delivered by Lord and spiritual master.
If your mind is dwelling on sense objects, then bring the mind to Krishna consciousness. I mean, you're going to be controlled by the mind or you're going to control the mind? If you can't control your mind, you can't do anything, either materially or spiritually. Krishna speaks in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The mind is the friend of the conditioned souls and the enemy as well. One should elevate themselves by the mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned souls and the enemy as well. One who controls the mind and senses, the super soul is already reached. What else did he say? One who controls the mind becomes the best friend, and one who fails to do so, his very mind is his worst enemy. So you have to control the mind. Nobody's going to do it for you. The tools to do it are given to you. Therefore, you have to do it. But if you let your mind drift to sense objects, then what does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Dayato jisvisayam pumsam tesu sangat sanjayate kama kama kroda vijayate kroda bhavati samoham shriti brahma shriti brahmsa buddhinasa panashyati. He says by contemplating sense objects, one develops attachment from that. From that attachment, lust arises. From lust, anger. From anger, delusion. From delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. When intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material energy. Panashyati means to fall down again. So it's all about the mind. Direct the mind towards spiritual activities, towards Krishna. That's all. If you can't learn that science, then associate with devotees who know how to do it, and they can help you with that. But why pretend? Why take up devotional service and try to be something different? If somebody hands you $100 bill and you think, I'm not going to use that, I'm going to print my own $100 bill. They give you the devotional service is the real thing. If you're pretending, then you're trying to do something counterfeit. That's all. Don't pretend. Be real. You might think, well, I'm not so qualified. Just do your best and Krishna will help you. Sincerity is the key to success in devotional service. If you're trying your best, you'll get the mercy of Krishna. But if you're not trying, as Krishna says, I reward people according to how they approach me. If you sincerely want Krishna, Krishna will help you. If you want Krishna and something material, you may get that material thing, but not Krishna. Amrita Nam.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So Guru Maharaj, if one gives in to the urges of the mind, and but still, if the person is conscious on the backhand about Krishna, about Guru, so does the person is still considered as considered to be in the fallen state?
Well, the activity will prove one way or the other. If Krishna is in the back of your mind and you're still doing something material, in other words, you're not paying attention to Krishna. What are you saying to Krishna when you're trying to do something different than what he wants? You're saying, you're here, Krishna. I can't hide from you, but still I want to do it. Haribol. That's all you're saying. It's like a joke, you know. It's not real. In the story of the two dogs, some people say that if you have two dogs, and one is the good dog and one is the bad dog, and they're fighting for supremacy, which dog will win, the good dog or the bad dog? So what's the answer? Sri Devi.
The one you feed more, Guru Maharaj.
Say it again.
The one
The
that
one
you feed more.
The one you give more food to, he'll become stronger. Feed your spiritual life, don't feed your material life. I'm not saying you shouldn't have family, you shouldn't have occupation, but you have to understand that these things are necessary as long as you have a material body to live in the material world. So you do them, but you don't look for happiness in material activities. You simply do it as a function. Just like well, you might say, what's a good example? When you have to do something because it's necessary, but it's not an object of happiness, you do it. Just like you might have to go shopping in order to get something you need. So you don't want to go out. You'd rather stay home, but you need it, so you do it because it's necessary. So there's some necessity in life on the material level, maintaining the family, and taking responsibilities in those areas. But don't make it the activity of your life. Do it just to get it done nicely, and then go on with your real business. And learn how to use or learn how to connect your material activities to spiritual activities and make them transcendental also. How to become Krishna conscious in the workplace. How to manage your family according to spiritual values, spiritual principles. That's not material, it's just required. But when you try to take care of your material responsibilities in a way to enjoy it, you're trying to get some enjoyment out of it, then it becomes material. The enjoyment is on the spiritual level. Material things are required in order to maintain the body, and the extensions of the body. But even that is ephemeral, and that can also be reduced gradually.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. That clarifies. Hare Krishna.
Thanks, Amritanam Mataji. Shridevi
Okay.
Mataji.
Ananya Bhakti is next, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, Ananya Bhakti Radhika Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Shri Prabhupada, all glories to you. Guru Maharaj, my question is like so many people I encounter, like the devotees, and some of them like always suggest me to chant different mantras. Like they are Krishna's mantra, but they are not Maha Mantra for Kanhaya, so that Kanhaya can recover fast if I chant those mantras. But from somewhere, I just want to chant Hare Krishna mantra. And they want me to make Kanhaya listen those mantras like Krishnaya Vasudevaya or Govindaya Nama Nama. So I don't say anything to them, but I tried to chant those mantras, but I feel like just let's chant Hare Krishna mantra all time and let Kanhaya listen this mantra only. So please just clarify me.
Yeah, the Maha Mantra is what it is. Maha Mantra includes all the benefits of all of the other mantras. And so if you chant Maha Mantra, all the other mantras are included in the Maha Mantra. For all the benefits of chanting all the other mantras, because it's Maha Mantra. Yeah. Enechya Sadi Maya Nasi Varalagi Harinama Maha Mantra Lao Tumi Mage. Yeah. Chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Prabhupada said it's the pinnacle, or it's the elixir for relieving, for all. What does he call it? He called it the panacea for all ills, anywhere, everywhere. Chant Hare Krishna. That's all. And chant Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Don't forget Mahaprabhu, because you can't chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra unless you practice your glorification of Lord Chaitanya by chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Then you can chant the Hare Krishna mantra. So these two mantras are all you need. And then we chant the Sringadev mantra sometimes for protection. That's there also. We chant the Prabhupada's pranam mantra to offer obeisances to the spiritual master, like that. These are the main mantras by which we practice Krishna consciousness. Hey, Sri Krishna Govinda Hari Murari Hey Nath Narayana Vasudevaya. That's nice. And that's the names of Krishna also. It's a Brajabasi mantra. But we haven't been given that one to chant. Better to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. When they tell me, I feel like from inside it comes like better to chant Maha Mantra. Why wasting your time? But I feel like this is the another name of Krishna also.
It's nice. Yeah, they're nice, but Lord Chaitanya is saying chant Hare Krishna. He's not saying chant Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. He's not saying chant Sri Krishna Govinda Hari Hari Hey Nath Narayan Vasudevaya. He's not telling you to chant that. He's telling you to chant Hare Krishna. So we want to obey the Lord because he knows he's given that mantra as the Yuga Dharma. The chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the means for self-realization in this age. Every age has a particular means for self-realization. This age is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's all.
Thank you
and the
so
rest
much.
of the mantras that support the other mantra. And if they bother you with that, tell them just chant Hare Krishna.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Like I am very stick
Just
to the.
tell him you're happy chanting Hare Krishna. I don't need anything else.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Now I'm very clear. Thank you so much for clarification. Because every time some devotee come and they will suggest me some mantra and they will say, just do it, it will help Kanaya. And I would just think like how it can be. Mahamantra is the best Mahamantra, but I don't say anything to them. So I just wanted to clarify. And now I'm very
Your son is
satisfied.
actually improving because you're chanting, and he's chanting Hare Krishna too, right?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. And I want Kanaya to hear only Mahamantra, nothing
Good.
else than
Well,
Mahamantra.
then you are guru. Then you are none different than guru. And
It's
your
all.
son is getting the best message. He's getting the best medicine too, because the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is also called Ausadi. Ausadi means medicine. It's also medicine for all the problems in this age.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for clarifying this
Thank you.
doubt. Hare
Srimati,
Krishna.
you have a question?
Krishna Guru Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you, all glories to Shri Prabhupada. I don't have a specific question. I just want to ask you the from recent previous classes. You mentioned an analogy where you said that when we are taking a turn, we'll slow down and pick up speed again. So I just want to remember or get your that on which topic or what is the context you mentioned about that analogy, Guru Maharaj. So I was just trying to remember.
Slow down on your material life, speed up on your spiritual life.
Okay. Yes.
You're driving your car, you're going to Vaikuntha, but you're breaking the speed limit. Therefore, you're going to crash so don't crash. Slow down in your material life, and because your karma pushes you in a certain direction. And if you stay at the same pace you're going, the push will continue. Therefore, you have to back off, slow down on those material activities, and speed up on your spiritual activities. That's all.
Yeah. Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. But the problem is nobody wants to think in that direction, slowing down the material. Because if it is not there, how we'll survive? What can we do?
I
All the
can't believe, like, after all of these years of Krishna consciousness, I can't believe you're asking that question.
No, I'm not asking about myself, but usually recently I met so many relatives and they are thinking that we are doing too much. So
What do they know? They don't know anything.
exactly,
You
yeah.
can't understand bhakti unless you practice bhakti. Even even the scholars, the academicians, the professors, they try to understand bhakti from philosophy without practicing. Bhakti Siddhanta says you're licking the outside of the bottle of honey. You're not getting the taste. You can't understand bhakti unless you perform bhakti. I can tell you what bhakti is like, but you can listen to me for 100 years, and unless you do something, my words won't have any effect.
Yeah.
You have to taste it, dive in, get into it, jump in. And if they tell them to get on their bathing suit and jump in too. And if they don't want to jump in, then let them drown in the material world. What can you do?
Yeah. I was not trying to preach anything, but I just was like that. So, yeah.
You have to understand one of the reasons why they're trying to pull you back to where they are is because they're suffering.
Mm.
Misery loves company.
Yes, Maharaj.
That's a truism. We're
Yeah.
moving ahead towards Krishna, and they want to convince us that we shouldn't be going in that way. But we know from our experience, from the philosophy, from the association, that we're on the right track.
Mm. Yes, Maharaj.
We know we're getting experiences. If you stay in bhakti, you'll come to the platform of, of ruchi. That means you'll be happy all the time, not just 23 hours and 59 minutes, but 24 hours a day. You'll be happy. You'll actually sleep nicely and wake up happily. Bhakti is so nice. As Prabhupada was saying yesterday, this bhakti is so powerful. It can change the whole world if people would just give it a chance. Very powerful. It's not just a religious movement. It's the actual process for bringing the soul back to its normal position in relationship to its origin. That means we're coming back to God after having left him for billions of lifetimes. This movement is very powerful, extremely powerful. Can't be stopped by the outside. It can only be stopped from the inside. But the inside is our own insincerity. If we are not sincerely practice Krishna consciousness, we will not be able to understand what we are about, what we are actually been given. To get an opportunity to engage in devotional service, Rupa Goswami says it's not only rare, it is extremely rare. Extremely rare. If I say here, I have something that can stop all of your suffering, fulfill all of your desires, and give you unlimited happiness, you would think, where is it? I want to get it. Well, it is here. It's bhakti. Bhakti is the internal energy of the Lord. It's personified by Srimati Radharani. She is the perfection of bhakti in all aspects of bhakti. Take shelter of Radharani, and you can taste the happiness of bhakti. Bhakti is so happy that you don't have to look for happiness. It attacks you. Can you imagine being attacked by happiness?
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds like an anachronism, but it's not. And all of the activities of bhakti are meant to awaken the soul's pure, transcendental, ananda nature. We are by nature ananda, but we are covered. Bhakti cuts through all of the coverings and awakens that happiness. When you're in kirtan, you're bouncing up and down, you're smiling, you're singing, you're not thinking about what's on television. You're absorbed in some kind of happiness, and you feel like this is everything. When you're absorbed in reading the books and discussing the philosophy, the mind becomes so enlivened that you think, boy, there's nothing more interesting than this, more satisfying than this knowledge.
Yes, Kumash. Thank you so much.
So don't listen to the.
Yeah. Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, but just they just, as you said, like they are watching us, what we are doing, and they are commenting, and they don't want to come, but they see that they have a lot of change in us, and but they are not interested in coming and taking a chance or getting a class.
That means they're unfortunate.
Mm.
To come in contact with bhakti is rare, but not to be able to recognize its value is actually a very sad state.
Yeah, we get disturbed when we meet them because of their materialistic nature and all those things.
Yeah. What is material happiness? Say sex life is material happiness. See all the problems you get with sex life? So many problems. Is that the source of happiness? Money, is that the source of happiness?
Yeah. Yes, Maharaj.
All of the things that people chase after, they're getting it. They're not happy, but they want you to come back and experience the same misery that they're experiencing. And then they don't feel as miserable as they would normally feel. Yeah, Prabhupada tells the story. Yeah, Prabhupada tells the story. One man, he's preaching to one man, and the man's a drunkard. And he says, "You're drinking, you're going to go to hell." He's a preacher. So the man says, "But my wife, she drinks also. Yeah, she'll go to hell too. And my brother, he also drinks. He'll go to hell too. And my father-in-law, he drinks. He'll go to hell too. Wow, that's good. Hell will be like heaven because we'll all be together again." Misery loves company.
Mhm. Got it. Thank
That's
you.
how people think, you know. We can suffer together, it's not so bad. If we can suffer alone, that's the worst thing.
Guru Maharaj, you should give us some tricks on tricking relatives. That's actually fun, which I eventually learned in Krishna
Oh,
consciousness.
just change the subject, that's all. When they speak something, pick out a word they speak, and then take that word and change it into another topic. And then when they try to bring it back to the same thing, pick up another word and just change the topic. They tell me, "What's wrong with you? Can't you hear what I'm saying?" No, this is what I heard. You said this word, and this word reminds me of this. Okay, try that one. In other words, don't listen to their nonsense. Would Sri Devi already gave? Did you ask a question yet, Sri Devi? Yet? No. Okay. Then we got Dinanath Garanga. Do you have to go?
No, Maharaj, I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Sri Devi, go ahead.
I'm really empathizing with all my god sisters who are suffering with this relative's business. I suffered like that for years, and now I'm finally free in the sense that no one wants to talk to me, and I'm very happy about it.
Your father still likes you.
Yeah, he does. He actually says Krishna, Krishna every time he talks with me. So that's something.
That's because of you.
I don't know about that, Guru Maharaj. I think it's because of you. Seriously. But my question is something entirely different. You have given me instructions, you have told me what to do. I'm wanting to do it, but still I come to Mayapur and I start procrastinating. I think, no, I should not do this. I should do something else. I should start baking cookies and make devotees happy. I should start sewing and make devotees happy. I should make gifts and make them happy. I don't know what it is that is making me frightened to follow these instructions. And I fall back into procrastinating or making excuses not to do something that you have instructed me to do.
Because
Is this
you're
enjoy?
listening to a certain pattern you used to follow, and you're not free from the effects of that pattern. So when you're back in that same environment, you pick up that pattern again. So the environment sort of dictates the pattern. But you have to overcome that pattern by trying to, with determination, move away from that pattern. But if you like the pattern, then that's a problem. Because wherever we are, we have a tendency to act according to the environment also. But one who is fixed in Krishna consciousness will bring Krishna consciousness into any environment and not be so much affected by the environment. But old patterns, old habits stay on, especially when you go back to certain areas. Like I just came back to an area that I hadn't been in just today, a few hours ago. I haven't been in this area in it was sometime around April. So it's been almost 3 months, May, June, July, 4 months almost. 4 months I've been away from this area. So now I have a certain way of thinking and acting in this area. Let's see how it affects what I do, or can I bring something into the area that will help me to take it more advantage in terms of my practice of Krishna consciousness. Old faces, old habits, old environments, they're kind of like, these are subtle forms of attachments.
So basically, one must become very determined to follow the order of the spiritual master, and that will give us the strength to overcome these old patterns of behavior.
Yeah, because these old patterns are easy to fall into and to take up. When you the other ones are not so easy when you want to make a turn out of it. Okay, Dinanath Gauranga.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, is a practical question, and I want to ask for forgiveness if this was discussed before in your classes. I keep on confusing myself. It's a practical question, Maharaj. So, Maharaj, tomorrow is Balaram Jayanti. So we fast until afternoon, and then we break the fast with Ekadashi or with grains? Because I'm always confused with these things at the moment. So sorry if you have answered this before, Maharaj.
I think it's regular prasadam. The Ekadashi break that we use for fasting days is on when we fast, usually for the whole day, such as Ram Nomi. We're supposed to fast up until sunset. For Gaur Purnima, we fast also the whole day. For Janmashtami, we fast. So those are Ekadasis that we break the fast with, and we don't take any grains until the next day on those 3 days. But for Radhastami, for Balaram's appearance day, from Nityananda's appearance day, Dvaitacharya's appearance day, we usually just fast half a day and take regular prasadam. That's what I'm accustomed to, and I've never heard anything different.
Thank you, Maharaj.
If you really want to get down to it, you can contact Banu Swami. Banu Swami is expert at this particular topic.
Thank you, Maharaj, for clarifying, because I was... Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Haribo. Thank you.
Thanks, Prabhu. Sridevi Mataji, you've got your hands up. Do you have another question? No, okay. Thank you.
I was just, Guru Maharaj, as you were reading down that purport, I was thinking, this is the story of my life right there in that purport. That every time I try to regroup, every time I do, and Krishna would just dismantle it, destroy it, and I would be.
Well, I didn't know you were so fortunate.
Well, my good fortune, you have made my good fortune, Guru Maharaj. There was no good fortune, there was only misery, misery, misery. You thankfully picked me up and gave me some good fortune. That's all I know.
Okay.
Shilpesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your lotus feet. I just wanted to comment that thank you so much for this class today. I've been feeling very challenged this week, physically and mentally. And it's like this class was just meant for me today. You've answered everything going on in my head. And I just wanted to say, like, when we came to South London on Monday for your program, we met a lot of relatives as well while we were there. My relatives are very favorable when we talk about Krishna. And, like, you know, we're talking, one of them goes to France a lot. So we're talking about New Mayapur and Govinda's restaurant in Paris. So they said they'd visit it. And we showed them a video of Vrindavannath's daughter doing the dance at the Rath Yatra in Croydon. And they said, I wish we'd known, we would have gone to see it. So, you know, it's not all families that the relatives are against you. My family tend to be very, very favorable. Actually, I think they've seen a lot of changes in me, and it's very positive. Thank you.
Well, yeah, that means they can become Krishna conscious too. Good. That's nice. And we want to make the whole world Krishna conscious. We're not satisfied simply with one or two. Good.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, so Satyabhama, thank you for hosting today, and I think it's about time for ending the program.
Yes, thank you
So,
so much, Guru Maharaj.
okay, thank you very much. And tomorrow is Saturday, is Balaram's appearance day. I don't know the schedule for where I am, so I'm not sure if I'll be here or not, but I'll plan to be here anyway.
For us, it is today, Guru Maharaj.
Huh?
For us, it is today, Balram Purnima.
In America.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, you guys in America like to always do something different. Just to show your superiority. Here we are in India and in Europe. It's all today. It's all tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. In UK as well as tomorrow.
Anyway, I was born in America.
Guru Maharaj, how did you came to the Krishna consciousness? Was it somebody gave you the books and then you came to Krishna consciousness?
Let's see, what was the first experience I had? Yeah, but when I received a pamphlet, it was a pamphlet, Who is Crazy in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead? 2 articles in a pamphlet that Prabhupada had written. I was at an anti-war rally against the war in Vietnam in 1970 in Washington, D.C. I came there to protest the war. And then the devotees were there. And I received this pamphlet.
So was it in Vietnam, Maharaj?
No, this was in Washington, D.C., in America.
Washington, D.C., okay.
The capital of America. And yeah, but I put the pamphlet and the incense in my dresser drawer and forgot about it for 2 years. The incense gave a nice aroma to the dresser drawer. But it wasn't 2 years later until something happened again. I can't remember what sparked it, but
I read something online saying that one Mataji gave you some books and then she took money from you and then
Oh, that
Was
was
it?
that was in New York. Yeah,
Okay.
Daivi Shakti Mataji?
Daivi Shakti. Yeah,
Okay.
she's a pure devotee. She's been in Vrindavan for 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I met the devotees again in New York. That's right. I met devotees in Colorado.
Colorado. Okay.
Yeah. And then I went to New York and then start practicing seriously. Then I got inspired to go to New Vrindavan from New York.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I stayed for 20 years in New Vrindavan.
Mm. Do you remember how your initiation happened?
My initiation?
How was
Yeah,
it
well,
like Aslot, or is it just Srila Prabhupada said, okay, fine, you initiated?
Prabhupada couldn't be everywhere. So he was deputing many senior devotees in different areas, and they would recommend people for initiation. They would send a letter, they would send the name to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada would send the name back by letter.
Oh, okay.
That's how I got my name, by letter.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll try to see you either Saturday and Sunday or both, or one of the 2 days. But have a nice Balaram's appearance day for those who are in America and for those who are elsewhere in the world. Prepare yourself. By getting the mercy of Lord Balaram, you get the mercy of Lord Krishna.
Yes.
Balaram is Guru Tattva. He is the personification of the spiritual master. He's Guru Tattva. And his pastimes are very wonderful.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Krishna Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much.